Recapped Movie Eyes, glad to have you back. I'm going to show you an American psychological thriller film called Run. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. At the start of the movie, a group of doctors are trying to save the life of a premature baby. After a few minutes, the baby's mother, Diane Sherman, is called to see how her baby is doing now that the critical phase is over. She asks if the baby will be okay. Scene changes to a child named Chloe who has 5 major diseases, including asthma, diabetes, and paralysis. Chloe takes a lot of medicines and checks her blood at home to keep her blood sugar levels in check. Chloe is shown to be a very smart young teen. She wants to go to one of the best universities in the city and works so hard on her college application. She always gets excited when a letter comes, and she hopes it's an acceptance letter to college. But unfortunately, the university never writes to her. Chloe also likes to try out new things and put together complicated tools, which she taught herself at home. Chloe is studying one day when she hears the sound of a car. She thinks it's the mailman, but as soon as she looks out the window, she sees that it's her M. When her mother is on the phone, Chloe immediately opens her mother's grocery box and takes some chocolates. But Chloe sees by accident that one of the green pills has Diane Sherman's name on it. And Chloe is, of course, interested in what disease her mother has. Before Chloe goes to bed at night, her mother gives her some medicine. Chloe is surprised because she has already seen a green medicine. She asks her mother about this, and her mother says that the medicine is for Chloe and that the name on the package is just the recipient's name. Still shocked, Chloe keeps taking the medicine and goes to sleep right away. The next day, Chloe's curiosity gets the best of her, so she takes one pack of the medicine from the medicine cabinet and looks at the name. It says trigoxin on the package, and she is confused because this time her name is written on it. She peels off a small sticker with her name on it, and on the back she sees Diane Sherman's name. Before Chloe goes to sleep at night, she gets the same medicine that she got the night before. This time, though, Chloe doesn't take the green pill and instead brings it back to be looked at. After her mother goes to sleep, Chloe goes straight downstairs to use her computer to find out more about trigoxin. The browser can't be used because there is a problem with the internet. Chloe doesn't know that someone is watching her from the corner of the room while she's on the computer. The next day, Chloe calls random people right away and asks them to look up the trigoxin on the medicine package on the internet. It turns out that trigoxin is a heart medicine, but oddly, it is a red pill, not a green one. Chloe starts to think her mom is up to something when Chloe is still very interested, so she asks her mother to take her to the movies as a way to find out more. Chloe tells Diane that she has to go to the bathroom while they are at the movies. Chloe leaves the movie theater and goes straight to the pharmacy that is closest to her. When she gets there, she finds that there is a very long line. Chloe asks the person in line right away if she can cut in front of them. She asks the pharmacist about the green medicine her mother gave her. She wants to know what trigoxin is for. When the pharmacist sees the drug, he or she is confused because it is not trigoxin, but lidocaine. Most of the time, the drug is given to dogs. When Chloe hears this, it turns her world upside down, and she wants to know what will happen if humans take the drug. The pharmacist says that if someone takes this drug, they will become paralyzed. Diane panics and quickly injects an anesthetic into Chloe's leg, putting an end to this revelation. She goes home with her mother. Later, Diane starts to feel scared at home, so she locks Chloe in her room. And she goes out to get a new paralytic prescription that she has been looking for on the internet. When Chloe wakes up, she finds that her mom has locked her in the room. Chloe is a smart teen, so she knows how to open the door in a few different ways. Unfortunately, her mother had seen this coming and blocked the door with the broom handle. But Chloe doesn't just give up. Chloe uses her knowledge of science and technology to get a solder, a blanket, and some water. Then she climbs out the window and crawls on a roof to get to the next room. As the tension builds, she uses the heat from the solder and then the water to break the glass in the window of the next room. She uses the blanket as a placemat so that Chloe's body is not exposed to the broken glass. After she gets out of the window, her asthma starts to act up, but she forgot to bring her inhaler with her. Chloe then tries to crawl to her room while her breath is shaking. When she gets to her room, she uses her inhaler right away to help her asthma. Chloe jumps right into her wheelchair and runs out of her house as fast as she can. But Chloe's mother broke the elevator that she used to get down the stairs. She then throws the wheelchair away in desperation and crawls down the stairs until she slips and falls. When Chloe trips and falls, she feels like a miracle has happened because she hasn't taken the medicine her mother gave her in a long time. She can feel and move her toe. She is getting more and more sure that her mom is a psychopath. Chloe gets in her wheelchair and leaves her house right away. She takes the road that used to lead to the city. When Chloe hears the sound of a car coming, she hides right away because she thinks it's her mother's car. It turns out that the car is the mail carrier who used to bring mail to Chloe's house. Then Chloe runs out of hiding and blocks the postman's van with her body until she is almost hit. The mailman gets out of his truck and asks Chloe what's wrong. Chloe just says, "Help me." When Chloe's mother drives by as the postman is helping her, she sees the two of them. Diane goes right up to the mailman and asks him what happened to Chloe. Diane wants to take her child home, but the postman stops her. Chloe doesn't want to go home. Instead, she wants to go to the police station, the mailman says. Diane doesn't give up on getting her daughter back, and she even threatens to call the police about the kidnapping. Diane can't do anything because there is no signal. She doesn't want the postman to take Chloe, but she agrees if she can go with her. When Chloe is put in the postman's van, Diane stabs the postman in the neck with an anesthetic until he passes out. Also, Chloe is put to sleep until she passes out. When Chloe wakes up, she finds herself locked in the basement of her house. She sees a black liquid that her mother made. It's likely a drug that will make her unable to move. Chloe can't get away because her mother has chained up her wheelchair so it can't move. She then tries to find a way to leave. Until she sees a stack of papers. It turns out to be a message about Chloe's acceptance to the university she had already signed up for. Chloe looks angry and frustrated because she knows her mother hid the paper from her. The truth keeps coming out. Chloe finds pictures of herself when she was healthy and not paralyzed. Even stranger, she sees a paper with a note about the death of a baby named Chloe, who died 2 hours after being born. She also sees a newspaper with a story about a baby being taken from the same place and at the same time as Chloe's death date. Chloe realizes at that point that she is not Diane's biological child and that she is the child who was taken from her real parents. It turns out that Diane's baby, who was shown at the start of the movie, did not make it. Because of this, Diane got so angry that she stole another baby from the hospital to replace her dead child. Diane shows up when Chloe is upset and confused. She tells her that she is not really her mother and that she has been giving Chloe medicines that have made her sick and paralyzed for all this time. Diane says that she did this for Chloe because she loves her. She tells Chloe to forget about all of this and go back to how things used to be, and she throws Chloe's medicines away. Chloe is still scared, so she won't listen to her mother until her patience runs out. Diane then takes a syringe and the black liquid mixture and gives it to Chloe. Chloe is getting more and more scared. She runs behind a cupboard and locks it as soon as she can. Chloe finds a poison, and when her mother finally gets the door open, Chloe drinks the poison until she passes out. When Diane sees that her daughter is dying from the poison, she cries out loud. From this, we can see that Diane loves Chloe so much that she wants to control everything Chloe does from the time she was born. But I want to know if this is really love. Or a love for oneself. Now that Chloe has been poisoned, she is taken straight to the hospital for medical care. But luckily, the doctors there are able to help Chloe get better. But it's still very hard for her to move and talk. Through the glass in Chloe's room, she can see that her mother is looking at her. When Chloe sees this, she presses the help button in her room to get help from the nurse. Chloe can't talk yet, so she has to use her eyes to get her point across. The nurse gives Chloe a piece of paper and a crayon so that she can write down something. When Chloe is making a word, an alarm goes off all of a sudden. It turns out that Diane set off the emergency alarm on purpose to get the attention of the nurse. Not long after that, Diane walks into Chloe's room and pulls out all of Chloe's medical equipment. She then takes Chloe out of the room. When the nurse goes back to Chloe's room, she doesn't know where Chloe is. The note Chloe wrote says, "MOM," and the nurse sees it. The nurse tells security right away so they can find Chloe. Chloe's mother brings her there against her will. She can't ask for help. On the escalator, just as Chloe's mother is about to leave the hospital, she can't move Chloe's wheelchair. It turns out that Chloe holds the wheelchair in place with her legs. Yes! Here, you can move Chloe's legs a little. Soon, the security guards come to stop them from leaving. When Diane saw this, she pointed a gun at the security guard and told him that she just wanted to go home with her child. Diane is shot by one of the security guards, and she falls down the stairs. Chloe is saved, and Diane is locked up safely by the police. The story then jumps ahead 7 years. In a mental hospital. Now that Chloe is an adult, we see that she can move her legs, though it is still hard for her. There, Chloe is visiting a person who turns out to be Diane Sherman. Chloe says that her life is great now that she is with her real family. She has a lot of friends and even graduated from her favorite college. Before Chloe says goodbye, she seems to take something out of her mouth. It turns out to be the dog medicine that Diane had given her. Then Chloe says, "Mom, I love you." Now open wide. The end of the movie Run is over now. Turn on notifications and give the channel a like if you want to see more videos like this. We're glad you watched.